Okay, in example number 5, we want to solve a rational equation by factoring the denominator. Solve the following rational equation: 1 over x, which is equal to 1 over 10 minus 3 over 4x. Now, when we look at the denominator, we can break this down into prime factorization form. So what they mean by factoring is that we have x as one of the denominators, we have 10 as the other denominators, and 4x as the other denominator. So when we break the prime factorization down for x, it's just x. We break down the prime factorization of 10, it is 2 times 5. We break down the prime factorization of 4x, it is 2 times 2 times x. And so what that means is that what do they have in common? Well, they have one x in common, so we know we can use x. They have a 2 in common here, and a 2 in common located with the 4, but there's 2 of those, so we need to include 2 of those because that's how many there are. And then you also have to include the 5. So 5 times 2 times 2 times x is going to give us 20x. Okay. So that's what they mean by factoring a denominator, because we're trying to find the LCD. Now going back to step 1, we want to find the restrictions. So all the variables that are located in the denominator, we're going to set that equal to 0. X is equal to 0. 4x equal to 0 gives you x equals 0, so 0 is going to be the restriction. How many terms do we have in the equation? We have 1, 2, 3 terms. And then we just determine what the LCD of the denominator is, because x, 10, and 4x, the LCD gives us 20x from factoring the denominators. And then we're going to multiply each term by the LCD. So again, the original equation is 1 over x equals 1 over 10 minus 3 over 4x. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply each term by the LCD, which is 20x divided by 1. So now that we do that, we can then say, okay, how many times does x go into 20x? Well, it's x. So what's left is 20 times 1 equals 10 goes into 22 times. So what's available and what's left is 1 times 2x minus 4x goes into 20x 5 times, which is 3 times 5. Then we're going to multiply those out. So 20 times 1 is 20 equals 1 times 2x, which is 2x, minus 3 times 5, which is minus 15. And now we can solve this equation. So we're going to isolate x, meaning getting by itself on the equation. So we're going to add 15 to both sides. So 20 plus 15 gives you 35, which is equal to 2x. And divide both sides by 2. And therefore x is going to equal 35 over 2. So the solution is 35 over 2. It's a conditional statement because we got one unique solution. And the excluded value is 0.